how to wind it up. Okay. This is Anna. I've been calling her Anna. And
Either is fine.
and Viktoriya. And I'm going to start out with a couple questions for them, just to make them feel a little more comfortable. And then we'll answer questions that you might have. So maybe you'd like to tell us why you wish to study in the United States. Who wants to go first?
Okay. Honestly, I don't want to offend Great Britain, but I would like to study in the US, and I'm happy that I'm studying here because of teaching methods. I don't like lecturing, and I don't think that it's effective method. At UVA, there is a lot of group work. We have some projects, so we are always doing something. We are not just listening. We are not passive learners. And I think this makes the US education higher in standards, where the teachers think about the philosophy of learning. Will it get results? Will it be effective? Will the students, when he or she comes to work, will he be able to cope with the workload? Or he will just come again and will sit and listen what the boss is telling him? So I think that this also, the side of practicality, if the student will be adapted to work, makes US education higher in standards. And I'm happy to study where it's interesting for you. You read the text and you learn a lot, and the professors, they're very approachable. They make jokes, you can have appointments with them. So this atmosphere conducive to learning, you want to study more and more.
Thank you, Viktoriya. And would you like to respond? Why did you wish to study?
Well, for me, well, just like what Viktoriya said, excuse me, sorry, I've been having a bad cold. Studying in the US, I think, is something I really always wanted to do for my master's, because I feel like the best education programs are here in the US. I mean, there are good ones in other countries, but I feel the best fit for me are over here, particularly where I'm studying right now, which is in Teachers College. I think they have very good programs for people who want to get into education. But aside from how high the academic standards are over here, I think just studying in another country is really, you get so much out of it. Intercultural education, I think, is very important. Before coming here, I had studied in the Netherlands for a few months, and I came back with a much wider perspective. And I feel like staying here for 2 years, I'm sure my perspective will be even wider after this experience. So I'm looking forward to that, coming back to my country and taking what I learned over here and applying it back home in the Philippines.
Thank you. My next question to you both is, what is the benefit of studying? I think you touched on it, and by broadening your perspective. But by studying in the United States, what is the benefit to go back to your country? What would you take with you?
Well, just to, because a while ago I mentioned how my perspective, I think, will be broadened. Maybe specifically taking what I see in the education system over here. In the Philippines, I was a public school teacher, and I see there are a lot of differences between the system over here and the system back home. And I really hope to bring what I learn over here, but put it, like, contextualize it so that it fits my country, because I think there are a lot of good things we can pick up from different places, even if we're in a completely different culture. There are best practices that I think we can take from here and apply back home. So that's what I hope to do when I get back. And that's what I think will be the most important benefit that I can get from studying over here.
I hope that, first of all, I will be a better teacher, because teachers think that they're responsible for their students, and I also feel responsible, especially about pupils. I don't want them to be drug addicts or to be in a bad company, but to have this shift from bad company, they should have motivation in education. And I think much depends on the teacher. If the teacher is able to interest students, then students will be more interested in studying, in going abroad, so in having some achievements in life. That's why, for me, when I have more knowledge, I will be able to engage students more. And another thing which I would like to do, I want to develop courses in English. For example, I can develop English for doctors, or IELTS or TOEFL course, because at my university we need some programs so that students could attend them. And when the university just had ready-made programs, they didn't work because culture was different. That's why they hope that when I come back, I will be able to connect knowledge and the culture, and then the programs will be more realistic to our country.
Thank you very much. Now we'll shift from the serious question to tell us about the activities you've done with your co-sponsor, and I know we have a co-sponsor in the room, but you can tell on her some of the fun things you've done or what they've done to help you. If you, Anna, do you want to answer first?
So my co-sponsors have been very, very generous. It's Ruth, Sue, and Linda. So they have been so kind. So I remember, well, maybe top of mind, I mentioned that this will be my first time to experience winter, because in my country it's a tropical country. We only have sunny and rainy. Those are only 2 seasons. And they took the time to come from New Jersey to New York, all 3 of them, and they took us, me and Natasha, another IT scholar, we went shopping for winter coats. So that was really nice. And aside from that, another thing, recently, maybe like 3 weeks ago, we attended Founders Day in New Jersey. Yeah, that was such a nice experience. We met so many members of ADK, and then it just so happened to be Natasha and I, we celebrated our birthday that month, and they had so many surprises. So it was very, very kind, yeah, so very generous, and I don't know how to, I can't thank them enough for everything. Yeah.
So
I know Viktoriya has a long list.
yes. So I have 3 co-sponsors, Rosamond, Annie, and Betty, and we always have fun together. In Founders Day, what I like that we wrote a letter to soldiers, thanking them for their service, and I felt so grateful that I have such opportunity to write a letter, because when you think, oh, soldiers, military people, they are so strict, how can I write a letter? So I liked it. And the second thing, that we combined a packet with useful things for children. It was also a good thing to do. And what I noticed, that ADK does a lot of kind things for people. So when we watch what ADK does, we also learn from it that we should be kind too. We should also do some kind things. And we had a picnic together, and co-sponsor said that I need rubber boots for Charlottesville, and I didn't believe, because people will laugh in Tajikistan if I have rubber boots. We also don't have a lot of snow. So it took me some time to believe that I need rubber boots. So we have really good experience with each other, and I think that ADK are like fairies for us.
Aww.
You always help us, and yes, we are happy to have met you.
Does anyone have any questions? Surely you can think of some.
What did you teach?
Oh, me, so I taught 3rd grade. In my country, I taught in an urban poor community. And then the past year, before coming here, I was in the policy research division of the Department of Education in my country. So in 3rd grade, I taught all subjects to all my students all day.
Viktoriya, were you teaching?
Yes, I teach pupils 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, and usually I have boys hooligans. And then the school administrator comes and says, I hear everything what you are doing. And I also have a group of diverse learners. For example, there can be a teenager of 16 years old, and there can be a person who is 70 years old. And then I should make such atmosphere that they want to learn from each other.
Awesome. What's been a difficult thing for you to adjust to since you've come? Something hard that you've had to adjust to since you've been here? Has there been anything? There's been an easy adjustment.
Well, for me, probably jumping back into the academic life, because I had been working for the past 5 years. I mean, I graduated 5 years ago, so I've been working since then. So getting back into that kind of pace, you know, getting back into readings has been a little bit tough, but I think I've been managing okay. But even more than that, I think the tougher thing for me is getting used to the weather, because it's been getting colder, and so that's been a challenge.
I haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah, it's just beginning. Yeah.
Just wait.
For me, the difficult part was that in the US, a lot of things are online. And we have in cash. And the first day I told the property manager, can I pay to you in cash? And he couldn't understand and said, no, you should either send check, which I don't know how to write this check, or you should set up online account, and I make such big eyes. So these online things were difficult. And again, co-sponsors helped me to order books online through Amazon. We don't have such opportunity, and I don't know how to do it. But you should be quick with books, otherwise these assignments will pile up.
Has there been something that you found that's very different about our country as opposed to yours? Maybe the way we do things, or?
You know, we were actually just talking about this over lunch, because in our country a lot of things over here seem to be automated. In my country, we do everything by hand. So even a dishwasher, we don't have that in our country. We wash everything by hand. A washing machine and the dryer, I had to learn all those things over here. We don't have those things back home. Yeah.
Can you repeat your question? I just...
Something that's just really different about what we have here in America as opposed to something at home.
Okay, there is one thing, but it's a little bit sensitive topic. You have gender equality, and I wish we could have it in our country.
Gender.
I think it would be nice for Tajik women to feel it.
Girls, I know that when you take on a new experience, you have preconceived things. Was there something that you came here thinking, and then when you got here, it wasn't there at all? You know, we think we're going to meet somebody, and maybe they look or seem different to us, but you all were coming to a whole new country. You talked about the books and...
Well, maybe this is just specific to New York, but I had this idea of New York that it was so dangerous. I was telling myself I would never ride the subway just because I was afraid. Then I realized it's impossible. You can't get around. Now I ride the subway all the time, and it's not dangerous at all. I mean,
Exactly.
it's not as dangerous as I thought. So yeah, it's actually very friendly. People are very friendly.
I thought that in the US there are a lot of shops and a lot of chemists, but what I noticed that you need a car to drive to the shop. So this was a little bit that I didn't expect.
Good.
Do you have some things that while you're here in this country that you really want to do, some places you really want to go and see or do while you're here?
I have like a long list. Because I really want to see like the Grand Canyon. I've never seen. I definitely want to see that. Definitely, yeah.
Go see it.
Yeah.
Come and visit me.
Oh, I will. I definitely will. And I want to see well, New Orleans. I really want to see as well. There's just a whole lot of things that I want to do. Yeah,
I would love to see Metropolitan Art Museum, especially after Kansas Art Museum. You want to stay there one day and
We were only there at the museum an hour, so and there was so much to see.
What's your favorite American food that you've had that you've never had before?
I think it's difficult to answer because I feel like American food is very similar to what we have back home, because we're very highly influenced by the US, I think. So, but maybe maybe the desserts over here they are a lot sweeter than what we have back home. But they're very I find that they're so creative in the way that they present desserts over here. So, yeah. And I
We
have a-
ate lunch at the museum, so you'll know.
Oh, yes.
Right,
you got
yeah.
it. Oh, it's really good, yeah.
I like lettuce.
Lettuce, really?
We have salads, but they are different.
Do either of you know how to drive a car? Do you want to learn to drive a car? Does that interest you?
Oh, I actually, so in the Philippines, I do drive sometimes, but not all the time because the traffic is
gender
just
inequality.
terrible. No, the traffic, I just don't want to deal with the traffic.
I just
in my
wonder if
country.
you noticed the drivers around, if that enticed you to want to learn how, if you didn't know, or if you
Oh,
maybe made you not want to drive ever. Because of
actually,
the driver.
maybe not the drivers, but the scene, like the scenery is so nice, like over here in Kansas. I mean, that's so beautiful. Like I wouldn't mind driving in this kind of, you know. But if I had to drive probably in the city, I don't know if I would enjoy it as much. Yeah.
Can I make a comment? What also impressed me, that the love for animals. I'm in Charlottesville, Virginia, and almost everyone has a pet or several pets, and they love them so much. So I think it's worth respect. When people treat animals as human beings, it also tells something about these human beings. And also what I like, that where I live there are 2 squirrels. I couldn't imagine that I will live and I will see squirrels.
I'll send you some more.
Okay, one last question there.
Tell us a little bit more about your families, about what they do, and do you have brothers and sisters you left at home?
We were gonna talk about that at the large group
Okay,
thing, if
all
you
right.
don't mind, and
Okay,
I
that's
think
fine.
it's like, but I appreciate, keep that question in mind. And, actually, we could answer quickly. About your family.
So I have mother, father, brother. Brother has his own family and he married a triplet.
Oh wow.
And
Okay.
so when he saw a girl he liked at the university on one floor, he went to another floor, he saw the same girl and said, "How you were faster than me?" And she said, "Who are you? Why you are speaking with me?" And when he came home and then he saw that there are 3 of them. But he married the first girl who he saw.
For me, I have my mom and my dad and my 2 brothers and 1 sister. But in the Philippines, when you say family, it's not just mom and dad and siblings, right? So my family is the entire clan. So I have 22 cousins. Yeah, I have like 6 aunts on one side, and we get together every Sunday. So it's a big family gathering every Sunday. Yeah.
Thank you all so very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.